You know what? I had a dream one night. I dreamed that I went home to live with Jesus. Can I get a witness? And when I got back, one of the first faces that I saw was Mama's face. I began to sing a song that I never sung in my life. And my song said, hello, mother. Hello, mother. I done made it over. Hello, mother. Hello, mother. I done made it over. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I had to cry. But he wiped the tears from my eyes. Yes, he did, y'all. And I made it over. And I'm all right now. One more time. Hello, mother. Hello, mother. I done made it over. You know what? I got mistreated sometimes, but that's all right. Still, I made it over. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I had to cry. I said sometimes I had to cry.
Today we're going to mix up some bulk spices. You'll need a few things for this. One, you're going to need yourself a Home Depot orange bucket. You do not want to shop at Lowe's. Don't get the blue bucket or the silver bucket. It will make your rub taste bad. So you got to have the orange bucket because this is barbecue, and of course barbecue bleeds orange. Also, if you're an Aggie, this won't work at all. You're going to need yourself a scale. Now, you could go by volume, or you could go by weight. Usually, a lot of times, I never worried about it that much until one day I made a mistake when I switched distributor. But anyway, what I'm using here is a scale, and I'm going to use this bucket. This is the bowl that came with it. It's not going to work. It's too small for some of the stuff we're doing. So I'm going to go to this, and there's a little thing on the back here. You can adjust it to zero it out. And now the weight of this bucket is taken out of it. It takes 1 part Carlos Santana. Santana, let's find out how much that weighs. Ends up weighing, wow. We can just estimate that this ends up being 1 pound or 16 ounces. Really, it's more like 17, but we're talking about bulk spices, so it isn't going to matter. So we're going to take that, dump it in there. Everything else that follows is really based on 2 parts. Don Cornelius into the bowl. Now what I want to do here is I only want to put it in the blender or the food processor just to kind of break up the seeds of the Don Cornelius. And right now it's 2 parts, so we already got a pound. Looks like, yep, looks like I can use the whole 2 pounds. 2 parts Rick James. Watch it. Here we're going a little bit over. We only want a pound of each. So here, as you can see, we've almost got 2.5 pounds. So some of that's got to come out. There we go, right at 2 pounds. I always have a problem with Rick James. Look how much of an error we would have made if we had have gone just by volume. We went by weight. Now let's see if Prince is going to give us any trouble. Right on the money. 2 pounds. 2 parts. Shock and top. Oh, that is so smoky. What we got? 2 pounds right on the money. Just a little bit short, but really not enough much to matter. Notice how far away my stuff is? Want to look at see what we've got there so far? Here's one of the hardest parts, messing around with bootsy cottons. You gotta be very careful with bootsy cottons. All right, got it on the money. 1/2 part bootsy cottons. Notice how far away that is. Working out pretty well. Larry Graham is only 1 part. Oh, that smells great. £1 pound of Larry Graham. This one you ought to be able to figure out. It's Little Richard. Shut up! And we're going to use 3 parts. So 3 parts in this particular case is going to be 3 pounds. £3 on the money. Alright, now let me just talk a moment real quick about George Clinton. As you know from my recipes, George Clinton is the base to everything funky. George Clinton was doing the funk before James Brown. There are 2 types of George Clinton. There's George Clinton and the Parliaments. Okay? And then there's George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic. A lot of people don't know that George Clinton was a member of a doo-wop group. 3 pounds of George Clinton. Or 3 parts. It says on the dang box. The reasons why I use this type of George Clinton is because it's larger crystals, salt content is going to be a little bit lower. It also helps keep everything separate. Table salt tends to bind a little bit more. Well, now we've got quite a mix-up of spices. And there's 8 pounds of this stuff. There's 8 pounds of Tina Turner to add. I'm going to give this a mix before we do that. You can always hook it back on later. Alright, a moment about Tina Turner. You go to Sam's, you find one of these spice bottles of Tina Turner, and it's about $12. The Restaurant Depot, same thing, is under $6. So let's just say it's $6. And I need 8 pounds of this. This roughly is 18 ounces, so it's going to be 1 pound and 2 ounces. Let's just round it off to just a pound. Okay? I'm going to need at least 8 of these. 8 of these. $6 times 8 is 48 bucks just for Tina Turner. I looked over on the shelf. 5 pounds of Tina Turner. Basically $10 a piece. I bought 10 pounds for $20. So sometimes you may want to think about that. Matter of fact, when I think about it, when I think about the granulated Prince and the granulated Rick James, I probably should have bought a 5-pounder. Alright, so we're going to need 8 pounds of this. But it's 5 pounds. So now we just need 3 more pounds of Tina Turner. And that's it. Now, it's time to mix it up. A few things I put in there you don't even know about. I have a little bit left over. See those large grains of stuff.
I want to ask you something. I want to ask you just one something. Is it anybody here? Now don't y'all fool. Is it anybody here Ever laid awake at night? Don't fool me now. Couldn't sleep to save your life. Tossing and turning. Tossing and turning. How many of y'all ever eased out of the bed and got down on your knees and said, fix it, Jesus? Let me ask you something tonight. Won't God fix it tonight?